What's up, everybody? Welcome back to the Blue River Bowhunting Podcast, episode 90. Dylan, we are 10 episodes away from being at 100, dude. That is freaking cool as hell.
It's going by quick.
It is going by quick. I feel like just yesterday we were talking turkeys with everybody, and then all of a sudden, here in, about a week, I'm going to be at your place, and we're hunting these big old velvet bucks in Tennessee.
I'm excited. We're going to sweat, but it'll be worth it.
I was looking at the weather today, and it doesn't look as bad as I thought it was going to be. We're going to be in the mid-80s for a high, low 60s for lows, which, I mean, that sounds better than 97, 98 that I did last year in Kentucky, so it won't be too bad.
Well, I'm hoping we're drinking beer by 11. So that's the plan.
That sounds excellent for sure. But this episode is going to be all about bow hunting league. We've talked about it on here a bunch before. I got Ben Harrison and Cam on from Bowhunting League. What's going on, guys?
Hey, what's up, Brett?
I appreciate you guys coming on, man. I've actually Ben was actually one of the first guests I ever lined up before I actually had Blue River Bowhunting Podcast. I was doing a show with somebody else, basically producing their show / co-hosting, and then broke off and started to do my own thing, and I just never got around to getting Ben back on, and I feel like this was a perfect time to do it. Your guys' sign-ups are coming down to the wire on that kind of stuff. A lot of people have a lot of questions on what it is in general, and I figured this would be a great place and a great platform to talk about everything.
Yeah, you're one of the few guys I actually run into out in public. We see each other at the Indiana Deer Expo, and I just feel like I see you more. And it's funny because, we don't know each other from anything but this, Facebook and social media stuff. But it's funny when I see him, like, there he is. Like, it's every time. It's funny. Like, I don't really recognize people. If they have their deer with them, I know who they are. But it's funny. Like, we do see each other quite a bit.
Absolutely. So, Ben, talk about starting Bowhunting League, when you did that, and how all that played out.
Awesome. Yeah, I'm gonna get right to it. But first thing first, if people have trouble paying attention like I do, we're giving away a meat wagon this year. If you enter a buck in the deer contest, it's bowhuntingleague.com. That's all you have to hear. If you don't want to listen to me talk the rest of the time, sign up at bowhuntingleague.com. It's 3-man teams. It's a free deer contest. We're giving away a 1998 4-wheel drive Jeep Cherokee XJ. So a lot of guys drove those in high school, first vehicles, or a lot of memories for these old boys. And I'll just
brand new tires. It's gonna be pimped out.
It's freaking awesome. It's at the paint shop right now. It's the paint booth. Wes Ramsey, another Indiana boy, is getting it painted, and Matt Lawrence in Tennessee just donated a brand new set of Mutter Truckers tires for it. So again, I want everybody to know everything about the league, but if you do one thing, do it for yourself. If you plan on killing a buck with your bow this year, just sign up. That's all you have to do. It's free. So, so we got the league started back in 2015. And like I said, I've talked with you before about it, but it's basically a free deer contest, 3-man team deer contest. This is our 10th contest, so we wanted to do something big for this one. And, man, I tell you what, every year it evolves, things change, but what remains the same is we keep the thing free for everybody. It'll always be free. We want guys to show up, whether if they're on top of the world and crushing it, independently wealthy, thousands of acres of land to hunt, or if they, got negative $200 in their checking account. I want them to be able to sign up and have something to look forward to, have something to be happy about. You know what I'm saying? Because this is the place to do it. I mean, I know I get to meet all these neat guys, and I see all these stories, and I watch people live their lives, and there's some guys that are really hurting right now, and the thing is, I see them come into the league periodically and just comment and say positive things, talk about looking forward to deer season, and I know that they're having a really tough time, and that's it brings a lot of joy to me knowing that we're a contest for everybody that bow hunts. We don't care if you're only public land, if you're in Florida, if you're freaking Canada. Like we want to be a place that you can come and just hunt as you planned on hunting anyway. So, but saying all that, we have about $50,000 in prizes. We have everything from bows to e-bikes to HHA bow sights to Osio Gear camo, Zinger fletches. I mean, it's just we have like 15 big sponsors. So,
Yeah, I mean, while you're on
lots of good
that
stuff.
topic, Ben, we'll just shoot down the list.
Yeah,
If
go ahead.
you
Go ahead.
wanted,
See, that's why Cam's here. I told you
Yeah,
it'd be a good idea to have him here.
yeah, we've got full sponsorship from Tacticam, HHA, Stealth Outdoors, Buzzard Roost Saddles, and there's gifts, multiple gifts from each of these companies. Genesis 3D Printing, Out on a Limb Manufacturing, Up the Mountain Supplements, which is a new first time for Bowhunting League this year having a health and supplement company sponsoring us. Backwoods Mobile Gear, Canadian Zinger, Osio Gear, Kaufman e-bikes, Monster Meal, A3 Archery, and then Ben, did Stratton Seed, did we ever?
Not yet, but hopefully with that plug you just did.
Yeah. Hopefully they want to pull the trigger, but there's some really good and just something really cool that we've been doing within the group is every day Ben is announcing kind of the prizes for the top 10 teams right now. And that's up to 3 HHA Rise sites, 3 $350 Osio Gear gift cards, 3 1 dozen arrows and zingers, 3 3D from Genesis 3D Printing Sub 1 XL camera arms, 3 Reveal Tacticam 3.0s, 3 sets of the custom A3 archery bowstrings, and 3 $100 gift cards to Davis Prime Cuts. There's all sorts of other little trinkets in there too, and ways to win, such as the meat wagon just by entering a buck. And so we've got that broke down. Ben's done a really cool job on this deal. He's got the enter a buck prizes, all entered bucks eligible. So the people and it's so funny, you get on there and read the comments and people tag their friends on it and they'll be like, oh, we'll never win that, there's no point in signing up. And I'll always copy and paste Ben's deal, and it's like, dude, just for signing up for the free contest and entering a buck, it could be a spike, a 90 inch, or whatever you want. You're gonna, every person that enters a deer, we're sending a free T-shirt to that's gonna have all the sponsors on the back. First off, that's incredible. Every buck entered, the person is eligible for an Out on the Limb Slick Rick drawing, and this is gonna happen the week of Christmas, so 12/21. We're gonna give a Buzzard Roost saddle kit away. That's a $400 some value the week of Christmas, and then we're also gonna do a HHA Rise that's gonna be given away the week of Christmas. That way, and the meat wagon, the biggest thing, we're giving a freaking vehicle away. So these awesome. Are all things just for signing up and entering your deer. Something if you're gonna hunt, you're gonna do it anyway. Why not join a fun community and win some prizes? I didn't mean to jump in there, Ben. I'm sorry.
No, you're good, buddy. You're good.
You did great, Cam. Thank you.
That's some great prizes, and you guys also have like a lot of like bow shops, right? That donate bows and whatnot throughout the season as well.
Yep. So Oklahoma, Kentucky, Tennessee, Pennsylvania, Arkansas, Missouri. I believe Michigan's a lock. We haven't talked about Michigan recently, so that's 7 states right there. Brand new flagship bows. I mean, it's kind of one of those things, guys. I think a lot of times, there's a couple of things going on, right? First off, every time you turn around, every time you turn a corner, somebody's trying to scam you. Okay. I mean, I like we're just inundated with scams and freaking raffles and just bullshit, right? And so, like, our initial wall is to protect ourselves and say, no, go away. So we have to get through that, and then it's, I don't kill deer big enough, or I don't, I don't hunt where there's big enough deer. And what's crazy to me is people say that everywhere. And you think, well, it's just, southern states or, just whatever. Some guy that's just hunting public land, right? But I was at the Iowa Deer Classic. This is what kind of told me that maybe I shouldn't be going to shows. Okay. I was at the Iowa Deer Classic and I heard I don't kill big enough deer, or I don't hunt, deer big enough. And I'm literally in the deer capital of the world. Right. And like I asked the guys, I was like, do y'all live in Iowa? And they're like, yeah, I'm only like 20 minutes from here. And I'm like, dude, this is like, I don't even care if you only hunt public land. If you really get after it on public land in Iowa, you're going to see or run or be in an area of a 160 plus. It's going to happen. Now, they're not everywhere. You're not going to go out there this isn't a promotion for Iowa. I'm just saying people do that. And that made me realize that, hey, maybe we need to switch things up, make it a little bit more fun, make it a little bit more engaging during the season. Because the thing is, our top 10 prizes are awarded in March every year. Everything cools off. Nobody's thinking about deer hunting. They're thinking about, they may be doing some postseason scouting and shed hunting, but everybody's they're frozen. Like they've been freaking cold for 3 months. You know what I'm saying? Right. And so that the thing is, like, we've got to find a way to make things fun a little bit. Well, it's always fun, but like kind of wrap up the end of the contest with some prize giveaways and then we thought about it like, well, deer submissions after Thanksgiving, they just tank, right? For a lot of reasons, tons of reasons. Guys are out done with their vacations. It's around the holidays. They've got commitments. They got Christmas parties and Thanksgiving and all these things, right? So our thought was, why don't we just give some guys some outstanding Christmases? And a lot of that has to do with, if we were to turn around and just give people $500 this year, the last 2 years especially, everybody knows where $500 is going. Brett, you and Dylan and Cam all know what would happen if I gave y'all $500. Y'all have a spot for that right now. Right. You know what I'm saying? And it's not hunting. It's not hunting. It's something else. And the thing is, we want to give guys something that they deserve, that they can get a guilt-free pleasure there, and like, hey, get something high-end, high quality, a great prize, and then that way they can get that and say, hey, you know what? Merry Christmas to me, and that's just kind of where we're at. Like, we adapt and overcome and adjust stuff, and we want to make it the best experience for the end user, and I think we do a pretty good job with it. But yeah, every year, last 2 years, we'll have over 1,000 teams, over 90,000 inches of antler entered. Yeah, it's a bunch. And Dan Nath runs our scoreboard, and he does a fantastic job with it. Great communication. We do everything through the website now, so we're not dependent on social media. It's just, it's kind of like just a buttoned up, laid back contest. And we could be on the phone all night talking about all the things we do. But the main thing is guys signing up before August 31st. Because if you don't sign up before August 31st, you're sitting on the sideline until next deer season. So, get your teams in. It's teams of 3. This is what I do. Cam brings the facts and brings you guys all the organized information. Here's me bringing you the stuff I love and the stuff that sticks to me, and then that makes me think. For some, I swear I know where people hunt more, like the states they hunt in, more than I do anything about their family. I know Brett's grinded it out in Kentucky a few years, and I just kind of know his speed and kind of the areas and I think we've probably hunted some similar areas and stuff up here in Indiana. Yep. it's just neat. Like, and the thing is, like, you just build that stuff over and over, and like, you don't realize how much fun it is and how much camaraderie you get out of this stuff until you do it. And then you build 2 or 3 years in this program. It's just like, wow, I can literally go to any state I want to go to if I want. I can just tell people, hey, I'm going to Missouri, and you'll have 2 or 3 people jump in there and say, let's go. And, you just go do it,
Mm-hmm. Absolutely. Lay down the actual rules for the contest, how they submit everything, and all that.
Do you want to take it, Cam, or you want me to do it?
Go ahead.
So the team portion, okay? You're on 3-man team, right? It's your top buck for each guy for the season. So you have unlimited upgrades, okay? That's the team deer contest portion. We have a team doe patrol. Okay, so we have a doe contest. It is the cumulative does, number, not weight. Cumulative does per team. Okay. We have individual contests. So, like, we'll stick with the does right now. So, like, we're giving $25 gift cards away to the guy for each guy that leads a state. So we're going to keep track of who kills what does in each state. And there, that's different. Like, some people are really jacked up about that, and that's the thing. Like, we like to have something for everybody. There's an individual contest for bucks called King of Tines. That's your top 5 bucks for the year. We typically have 2 or 3 guys that are killing 5, 6 bucks a year. And, that contest in itself has grown tremendously because there's a lot of guys that are networking, finding places to go hunt. It's awesome. We have lots of other prizes, but focusing on like contests and things we keep track of. Top bucks per state. So if you're listening to this and you run a shop or have friends at a pro shop, or there's a pro shop that you really enjoy going to, get us connected with them. All we were asked for from pro shops is them to donate a bow. Now, they could even split the cost of that bow with another small business like a realtor or a mechanic or tire shop or whatever. Like, what happens is when these pro shops and these small businesses find ways of getting bows to us for the state, what ends up happening is we put them on our deer contest shirts. So every single person that enters a buck this year is going to win a free shirt. Okay. That is that we're talking 700 to 1,200 shirts that are going to be won. There's a lot of pride in when I can say we can deliver on that, because the thing is, that's a huge undertaking. Okay. But the thing is, that does awesome things for our sponsors. All the sponsors are going to be it's going to be a great design, cool design designed by Parker McDonald. He does great work. He's White Hawk Creative, but awesome design on the front, all the sponsors on the back, all the pro shops on the back. So what it is, your brand automatically goes out to 700 to 1,000 guys. And who doesn't want a free shirt?
I want.
You know what I'm saying? How freaking cool is that?
Yeah.
Yeah. And that's what I'm saying. What I'm saying is, because even though we're free, and I've had people come to me before about this, and they're like, you should charge. And I'm like, guys, you don't understand. People put effort into this. It's not just free and we're giving them everything. They give stuff to us. They come have a good time. They help out a buddy. They take somebody else hunting. They're just there to have some enjoyment, But there is effort in that because there's commitment to the contest because people keep coming back, right? If you think about it, if you just did something one year, it's not a big deal. But when you keep coming back and participating in things, it actually is a little bit of work. You know, you have to track things. You have to make sure you take the right pictures. You know, there's a lot of little things. And like, we appreciate that. We appreciate everybody coming with the right mindset. And that's why like I'm very proud of our sponsors stepping up and helping us with the shirts, you know, and helping us with the meat wagon. And it's just like it's one of those things like who knows where it can go? I have no idea. But like I like where it's at, you know what I'm saying? And this is our 10th year. We're credible. It's been around for 10 years. Like like you know, it runs without me now. Like it can keep going without me. So it's really neat having all this happen.
Yeah, absolutely. I think this is like my fourth or fifth year doing bow hunting league, and I always pass the information along to as many others as possible. I get some similar responses, like I don't shoot a big enough buck to be in anything like that, and most of the time I say the community isn't like that. You could shoot a 4-pointer and everybody's going to congratulate you. There's nobody that's going to give you any kind of rough time on that, and I think I appreciate that more, having a community like that, because we all know what social media can be these days when it comes to buck shaming and just people being plain assholes.
Yeah. Well, like, you know, I'd never heard of it because I'm not big into archery prior to this year. You know, I'm a big muzzleloader guy. So he had come down and was telling me about it. And I was like, oh, yeah, you know, well, send me the info. So he like added me. I started reading on it and I was like, oh, man, you know. And so here I am, new bow. We're ready to rock and roll. And I've actually changed my mentality of doing it during muzzleloader to I'm trying to do it all year with just a bow. So
and you got hooked up with some other guys from Tennessee, correct?
Yeah. So I kind of like felt it out, browsed through a little bit, and then put it out. And a guy reached out, and they're closer to Nashville, so they're like 2 hours away from me. And we've got us a group chat now, sending pictures back and forth. And you know, planning on trying to do some stuff. I'm sure you guys know, like down around Nashville, some of those areas you're allowed like 3 doe a day. So we're already thinking about, you know, some doe patrol weekends and you know, trying to get more people into it. I was telling some of the guys I work with about it, and they were, you know, adding the group. So I think once you do understand that it's not about the biggest buck, or you don't have to pay to be in it, man, that really gets people wanting to do it.
You literally just said what it's all about right there. I
Yeah.
mean, word for word, what it's all about. Getting the meeting new people, getting a group together, getting excited about the season, just all that. You couldn't have said it better than you're the perfect example of why we're here. That's awesome.
Yeah, and those guys, the one he's switching from gun over to bow this year too. He's never really been a bow hunter, so like it's getting a lot of people into it that may not have ever really gave archery, you know, the
Yeah.
fighting chance. So it's really cool.
And Brett, what you said, boy, you get in some of these groups and they are ruthless. Like
Oh my god.
that is such a difference of what we're working with here of it. And I've got it pulled up, just scrolling through here today. I hadn't caught up. One, it's hard to even stay caught up with how much posting is in the group, especially this time of year. But it is constant, just people building people up, or someone will post in there and be like, "Hey, can you give me advice on X, this site or this saddle?" And no one's in there saying, "No, this is junk. This sucks. You need to get this." They're like, "Hey, if you can make it work, here's better options. Here's X, whatever." That's kind of what you like. I did the same thing 3 years ago. Uh, I was really in my area the only person that would carry. So I thought I was the only person that's like carrying a bow in for Missouri rifle season, like prime rut. Everyone's looking at me like I'm an idiot when I'm out hunting with the bow, and I was filming all my own hunts at the time. And one of my buddies, he's like, "Dude, you need to get in the league if this is what you're gonna do." So I had that same perception too of like, oh, a Facebook group, like not I wasn't big on posting on Facebook and stuff just because of the drama behind it. But when I got in here and seen it, I was like, yeah, that's if I'm gonna be a part of anything, that's what I want to be a part of.
Absolutely, and you see a lot of times in there. I've seen it multiple times over the years. Somebody tags it out in multiple states, and it's like, hey, I want to check this off my list. Who wants to trade a hunt? I'll come to you. You can come to me next year, or whatever the case might be. And then you see a lot of people trading hunts, or that may be how they end up on the same team together, or whatever. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Ben, you used to have kind of a number of how many hunts had been traded.
Yeah, we were over 200 2 years ago, so I have no idea. What's crazy, even like in the smaller scale, like in the turkey contest, each team has a minimum of 3 hunts traded. Our team will have 20. You know what I'm saying? And it's kind of one of those things that it's turkey hunting is like a much more laid back scenario. There's very few times you're going after like non-typical looking birds, multiple beards, or like a bird, it's got like inch and a half spurs, right? And like the thing is, like, that's a great entry way, and it's a very relaxed hunt versus bowhunting during the rut. I'm a mess when it comes to the rut, whitetail rut. It's stressful. But like I said, and we're well over 200. We're probably closer to 400 by now. It's crazy how many people hunt together. That's Wes Ramsey is he is painting the truck. That's what he does for a living. He's painting the meat wagon, and he was showing me his shop. He's got just a corner of the shop, and he's got a kind of partitioned off where people can throw an air mattress and stuff and crash there at his house. And he takes people, hunting all the time. He'll take 15 people during turkey season. He'll hunt he'll be off opening weekend until it closes, and he'll be all over the place. He'll hunt like 7 or 8 different states, and I know he hunts. I know personally know stories of him hunting trading hunts for guys in Indiana. Lots of guys, like 10 plus every year. He hunted Tennessee this year. He hunts Kansas. I know he's hunted Texas. I don't know anywhere else. I know there's several other states he went to, but those are all league guys. Those are all people he just trades hunts with, and he hunts with them. They come up and hunt with him, and because if you're, there's a couple scenarios. Like, for one, none of us in here are independently wealthy that I know about, and if you are, good for you. But I can't travel around and hunt with outfitters all the time. I don't even know how much fun that would be, but I can't afford to go on private land like that. I can't lease a bunch of ground. There's a lot of restrictions, right? Well, in this capacity, I can go crash on somebody's couch or meet up with them for a half day or whatever, you know what I'm saying? But it just speeds up the process a lot for us, and it makes things accessible. The problem is, and I'm guilty of it, we've all been guilty of it, but guys will say something along the lines of, well, I'll do that in a couple of years. I'll do that. I'm thinking about doing that next year. And you don't realize how easy it is to network until you start doing it. And what we don't think about is, it may not be the most desirable situation, right? You think, right? You go out there and it may be okay, but what happens is once you get one contact, that contact doesn't go away. They're a good guy. They're looking for another place to go. And so you just build your portfolio to then you're picking and choosing what states you go to. And then what that does, it actually takes pressure off the guys that you trade hunts with. So it gives you opportunities, and maybe both of y'all can go somewhere else new. It just gives you another hunting buddy. And the issue I've seen with local stuff, there's a lot of competition. If you run into somebody that also hunts the same public land, or it's a neighboring farm, and the guys are hunting back and forth, it's really hard to share a lot of information with them unless you super trustworthy or whatever. And there's no competition with that. You think who have this deer hunting contest can be a lot of competition. Well, there's actually less competition in our contest than there is out in the real world, because like you're not on top of each other. Like you're like, hey, I'd like to go drive 4 or 5 hours and go hunt a different state, see some different trees, and there's opportunities there. And they have the same experience when they come hunt with you. So, but that's the thing about the bow hunting league. Prizes are awesome. Our sponsors are fantastic. But the best thing about the bow hunting league is the camaraderie and the hunt trading that goes on. And it just happened naturally. We didn't think we had no idea that's what would have happened.
Another thing I've heard multiple times, and I hear it from my one of our guys, Adam, all the time. He said it was a curse for him. He had killed a buck like 8 years in a row, and then he was on my team a few years back and didn't kill one. So he had something to blame it on that year. So he said that bow hunting league was a curse for him.
It happens, yeah. You gotta watch what's going on, and if it messes with you, I totally understand somebody sitting out. Like,
Right.
I don't blame them.
A lot of pressure to get that T-shirt.
Yeah,
Right.
that now he can dump a 3-pointer and get a T-shirt, whatever.
Right.
Curse. Hey, we're fixing curses over here. We're providing a lot of value.
Oh yeah, for sure. So, Cam, talk about your hunting opportunities there, where you're at in Missouri, and what you got going on this year as far as deer hunting wise.
Yeah, so I'm pretty central here in Missouri. My world's been pretty crazy the last few years. I'm usually behind a camera more than anything. I have tons of opportunity. I have several good farms real close relatively to where I live. I'm surrounded by, 400,000 acres of Mark Twain National Forest from where I'm at all the way to the southeast corner of the state. Being a part of the bow hunting league, multiple options to get out and hunt with Ben and Tennessee, Kentucky, Indiana. But my passion really is being behind the camera. So just like with this, well, I guess I'll back it up for you a little bit and tell you how we got to where we are today, and then roll into that. So I was helping. I have another group I was working with, and Ben actually won a deer contest that we put on. And so he won a prize. Some of the guys that were affiliated with the bow hunting league won the doe contest. Ben Allen, who's in Kansas, he killed a top buck and won some prizes. So that's what really connected Ben and I. And I went up to the Iowa Deer Classic to introduce myself and make sure he knew his prize was on the way, which he got it. And what's funny enough is not a gun guy. He won like a custom $1,000 gun. And
That's awesome.
but yeah, so while we were there, he just started asking what we done, why I done it, and I told him, I said, man, I've 12 years really in the industry of marketing and sales for O'Reilly, and have helped them go international with the independent business side. But I said, really, my heart is in the video side of things and editing. And he's like, if you're looking for something, we can make something happen. And so I told him, I was like, I'd love to help you guys. And he's like, well, be careful what you wish for. So it was that was what, early March, Ben? And then
Yeah, that was Iowa Deer Classic first weekend of March.
yeah. So I had a lot of stuff going on between work and editing for other companies and filming. So I kicked it around for over a month up until early April. And then I called him. I went scrolled back through my messages and I had his phone number saved and called him and I said, hey, I've really contemplated this because whenever I get involved in something, I probably give way more than I should. Usually give like a 150 when I should give 110. And I said, so I wanted to make sure I was in the spot I could give you guys that, and I am. And he said, well, if you're serious, pack your bags and head to Tennessee in 4 days. I'll see you this weekend. And I came home, told my wife, and I packed my bags and off to Tennessee I went. And we chased turkeys for the whole weekend, the Friday, Saturday, Sunday. And that led us to where we are today. I basically do all we call it a media director role here, but I work with all our sponsors, actually filmed commercials per se, videos for several of our sponsors so far. And kind of work with Ben on making sure that, like he said, facts and figures kind of thing for the bow hunting league. And that's really a short and sweet, without boring anybody, of where we're at and what I do. But the biggest thing out of all that that's came is within the next week, we are going to launch. This is really our first time. We brought it up on another podcast, but we hadn't actually said what it was until right now.
Awesome.
Because we got our Parker with White Hawk Creative, got our logo finished, and we are launching a new bi-weekly video series going to be called Bow Hunting League Tonight. It is going to be, it's not going to be me telling you how to hunt, where to hunt, what the recipe to killing big deer is. It is literally to share your guys' stories. We are going to do short segments on basically, I got a green screen right here next to me in this little studio I've built. And we're going to highlight who's killing bucks that week, where they've killed them, maybe bring them on for a few minutes to tell a short story. It's not going to be like the podcast style, like an hour long. It's strictly going to be like 6 to 12, maybe 15 minutes bi-weekly. Going to have a rolling scoreboard behind us, sponsor updates, league updates, basically give all of our people in the group an opportunity to have a voice. So we're super excited about that. I'm really excited about it because that's like
Mhm.
what I live and breathe. So be watching for that. It's going to be a pretty cool deal.
That sounds awesome. Hopefully, I can kill a giant so I can come on and hang out with you guys.
I would love that.
Yeah, and that's the thing. Thing is, like Cam said, it's going to be the most accessible platform that anybody's ever seen or watched. Because I feel like, and this isn't really against anybody. I mean, we're all limited on time and opportunity, right? Like even you guys probably have people that, hey, I want to come on the show, and you just can't get everybody on. It's the same way. Like I've been wanting to come back on every year, and like we just haven't linked up.
Mm-hmm.
And but this scenario is going to be really accessible because we're not asking for a lot of people a lot of time. If it's just a guy, if all he does is film the recovery of his deer and give a little short, breakdown of what happened, he can send the clip into Cam and Cam will plug it in. He'll play it, and it'll flow. However, everything will happen naturally. And Cam's Cam is this is his Cam's baby. This is something I'll contribute to. However he tells me to contribute, but it's going to be one of those things. He's a natural for it, and he's going to do really well with it. It's going to be fun. It's going to be really cool to watch like episode 1 versus like episode 30,
Yeah.
or like because it's going to go. We're going to continue it even after deer season, and just keep things. We've learned that. Facebook, while it's great in its certain capacities, I feel like Facebook's struggling. I think it's probably third or fourth as far as like favorable apps, right, to get information. And people love video. People love watching reels and little clips and stuff. And that's where Cam's going to thrive. I mean, he's going to absolutely thrive in this.
For a content standpoint, and I'm sure you guys know it from podcasting, and there's two things I want to say here. What Ben said, comparing episode 1 to 30 is going to be like you guys sitting here on 90 listening back to 1 through 10. How how much better you've got it, just speaking and all that. That part excites me already, just the progression that's going to happen. Well, and that made me lose my second train of thought, but it is that's something that we're looking forward to. And the content piece of it, where like on the podcast standpoint, you can take a 15-minute video and basically, I think everybody's out there doing this nowadays, pull 15 reels out of a 15-minute video.
Oh, for
Certain
sure.
things, certain brands that are popped up, deer stories, whatever. But the accessibility part of it's going to be what's going to hit home for me and for all of us, just giving everybody an opportunity. The guy that kills his first deer ever this year and enters it in the bow hunting league, that what are the chances that anywhere else is going to say, hey, give me a 2-minute interview and your recovery video of your first ever deer you've killed, and we're going to share it with 57,000 people. I mean, that's just that's what excites me. And I love the excitement of other people. And that's why I think my biggest thing, turkey season, Matt Powell, he said it in a comment of me going out there and them guys giving me ample opportunity to buy a tag, Matt offered to buy my tag. And he's like, dude, just you'll kill one. And I was like, no, I want to film you guys having fun. Like that is my joy. I don't need to get behind the bow and kill one. So yeah, it's just really cool. I'm excited to see what we get with this thing. The last thing on that though was I remember it. I was sitting on the front porch here and I was texting Ben. I said, dude, this is going to sound long winded. I said, you can tell me I'm an idiot, but I got an idea. And so I sent it all out. I was like, this is what I want to create. I don't have a name for it yet, but I want to come up with this video series. And so I sent him this freaking huge paragraph of stuff. And he texts me back. He's like, holy crap. He's like, you're not going to believe this. And I'm like, what? And he calls me and he said, I have been wanting to do this since day one, 10 years. And he's like, he said, you can call my wife and ask her. I have told her the same thing you're pitching me right now the last 5 years, and we've not been able to make it happen. So that's really exciting to be able to put something together that's basically 5 years in fruition of trying to create. And here we are about to launch it in the next week.
Yeah, that's awesome, man. And to go back on like what you said from episode 1 to episode 100 and all that kind of stuff, I go back and watch the early days of our YouTube for our actual hunting videos, and it's like, oh my God, what was I thinking on that edit or that? What was I thinking? And then fast forward to this past spring, and I was a part of like 11 birds or whatever it was, and me and Dylan shot a double beard in Tennessee on video, and to put some of that stuff together and some of the different shots that we have now and the way we put it all together is just like a whole nother world compared to when I first started. I look like a kindergartner when I first started it, putting it together, so it's always fun to see that transition period,
Yes, and just getting comfortable. I feel like the second you put yourself in a position where you're comfortable to be in front of the camera or behind it changes everything.
For sure.
That all my buddies that I go film around here too, like turkey season, I tell them like, I want you to pretend that this thing does not exist. Just you're talking to me. This thing don't exist, because it's like they lock up and they feel cringy or whatever. And I'm like,
I'm not
no,
sure what to do with my hands right now.
Yeah, Ricky Bobby in it. Yeah.
Yeah, that video series should be, I mean, you go into a season and a lot of people have, history with these deer, or they have history with whatever, this piece of property. So to be able to come on and showcase and maybe be like, hey, I've chased this buck for 3 years, finally got it done. That's going to give people time to tune in and comment and even build that person up even more about, being able to knock that down. You talk about feeling good when you feel good about something and then everybody backs you and kind of pumps you up too. That's going to be cool to tune into just to see.
For sure. And that's kind of I've toyed around with this with a couple videos already. And the biggest thing that is going to be my number one priority this year will be catching. So if somebody kills a buck, posts it on here, I want to talk to them within that day, if possible. Because how often when you call your buddy, your enthusiasm level and your storytelling, that first, I think you honestly have like a 5-day window of where you're on cloud 9. You're higher than you've ever been. You've killed your target buck, even if it's not. You still, that excitement's there. Where what I've seen with the videos we've got, where these guys were sending voice memos from the deer they killed last year, it's like, yes, they're still excited, but it's not that like I just made this happen enthusiasm storytelling kind of deal. When what I told Ben, whenever any of us got together, if I ran into you at a wedding and you're like, oh yeah, do you hear deer hunting? Do I deer hunt? Heck yeah, I do. And then you pull your picture, your camera roll out, and you're going through it, and the storytelling just starts. Like, that's how I want the enthusiasm to be in these videos.
That's the best when you run into, like, if you have to go to a kid's birthday party with your wife or whatever, and it's like, what's up? Were you into you hunt? Oh, do I hunt? Check out this trail cam picture from last night.
It's like, let's go sit in the corner and talk.
Yes.
grab a couple beers. Let's go.
Yeah,
that's so true.
I think we've covered pretty much everything as far as the league goes, except for the showdown. Somebody want to kind of summarize what the showdown is?
So we take we freeze the scoreboard at the end of December, and we look at it and say, here's our top for all the list, right? Our top 10 king of tines, the number of bucks, the total inches of antler per individual. We take the top team, we take the top 3 bucks, we take doe patrol leaders, take all those guys and invite them to come to an end of the year hunt. It's a January hunt, right? This year we're doing it in Louisiana on public. We always do it on public land because, again, we're not rich and we can't just lease a 10,000 acre ranch for a weekend. But the idea is we go down there, we all have a big deer camp. If you've never done a big deer camp, find a way to get one done, because the best thing about deer camp is that's the only thing you're responsible for is deer camp. It's cooking your food, drinking your beer, getting up and going deer hunting. I mean, that's all. It's really nice to totally unplug for all your responsibilities. And I even find that if your home life's pretty straight and if everybody's got coverage for kids and all those things, it actually recharges you for your family, for when you go back home, like you miss them obviously, but at the same time you get to bring something back to them. That's why hobbies and stuff are so important. But anyway, I don't want to get on that tangent, but like, the showdown, the top hunters for every year get invited. What we're going to do this year though, we've already got all the cabins rented. What we're going to do this year, if we have slots open up, like for guys, because we'll have guys that can't come for one reason or another, if they're going to like the ATA or if they got a big indoor shoot. We got a lot of competitive archers in the group and stuff. If a guy can't come, if we open up a slot, let's say we have 3 or 4 slots, we'll actually do general drawing in the group. Like, who wants to come to the showdown? Like, you're going to get an invite. Don't sign up if you're not going to be committed and come down to this thing in Louisiana. And the showdown group, we have this will be our 5th showdown. Okay. We started doing these 5 years ago. Our showdown group, we have a legacy showdown group. So like everybody that's came to a showdown, we have everybody in a single messenger. It is awesome for networking. Amazing. That group right there, every one of those guys in that group could lose every place they have to hunt, every place. And they would have a list of states to go to this year and play guys to go hunting with. You know what I'm saying? And like, they wouldn't have to like shell out a bunch of money to go do this either. And that's why, we can't create that environment for everybody, but it is definitely a fantastic environment. And if somebody goes to the showdown, they get put in that group, and it's fantastic for networking. But we have that's as far as the hunting year, and I'm looking forward to the rut, I'm looking forward to the velvet hunt, all these things. The showdown is the epitome of a season finale, and it's just so much fun. And I hope you guys shoot 3 or 4 bucks this year and can qualify. And I think Brett and I have talked about it a few times, like him trying to punch a bunch of tags, but like, it is like an amazing opportunity to go and be around some absolute killers. And you'll always find somebody there that you can get along with, and it's just great. Like, it's so much fun, totally unique, nothing like it exists out there, and we love it. We have a fantastic time. Cam's coming this year. He got himself a ticket. He's been a good boy, and he's gonna come down and film, and we're gonna have some podcasting going on and stuff too. So it'll be fun,
Oh, absolutely. The end of the season trip or camp, the last hoorah of the season, I feel like is just as important sometimes as those rut hunts or the chase ones. Those are my favorite during the chase period. But like to end it all, I've never thinking about that when you said that. I've never really had a camp that late in the season, but this year I think I kind of am. I'm going down back to Tennessee. If I don't tag out during the velvet hunt, but muzzleloader hunt with Dylan down in Tennessee, and I think that's going to be kind of like the end of it for me this year, and I'm really excited to have kind of like a deer camp there at the end.
That it is nice. You're so gassed by December. I mean, if
Oh
you've
yeah,
been when you're chasing deer hard, it's nice to just come together and drink a beer and have a good cookout and just have everybody together. And you usually, like you said, you only get that at either the kickoff of deer season or typically the rut, the chasing period. Everybody's having deer camp November 10th through the 14th. It seems like
yeah.
around me. Um, but yeah, that late season when you've been dogging hard and you're ready to just wind down and have good company and go, maybe whoever can kill the most does while we're in Louisiana or get on a big buck, who knows? But it's going to be a lot of fun. It's going to be a good time.
Yeah, it's cool when you build that. Like he came down for the turkey opener. I was like, man, I've got plenty of turkey. Let's make this happen. And he did. And then we get on all these birds, and he shoots one. And we had he's like, dude, I've never killed a double beard. If I get one, it's going, getting it mounted. Boom, it happens. And then we're sitting there talking, drinking beer, and we're like, dude, this is not just what we're doing this year. Like this is a tradition now. And that
That's
just it's spiraled to like he was like, I want a velvet buck. I was like, bro, let's go. Come down. We have the perfect opportunity. To then I was like, well, you're not going to get the real Tennessee, hunt during the velvet. Like it's warm. It's not the real, that fires you up. So I was like, you got to come down for December. He's like, yeah, well, you got to come up for November. So like all these people building this, and then we had like this turkey roundup this year. I was like, let's put something together where we're all hanging out, and we had guys from Georgia, Indiana, and everybody hunted, and then we just come to my farm, drop tailgates, and drank beer, had the turkeys, and it's kind of like building that, and so like people are already looking forward to next year's roundup. So you guys aren't hunting that far from me.
that's
It sounds
awesome
like so. Opener of next year, you guys will have to come up and hang out with us for a while.
for sure.
Man, sounds like a good time.
It
Oh,
does.
it was a blast. We were hanging out at the tailgates, and I think we had 4 or 5 birds on the tailgate, and we're all sitting there talking, drinking beer, and somebody just happened to look up at the top of the field, and they're like, there's a bird up there, there's a bird up there. All of a sudden, you see Dylan's truck door open, and he's sprinting up the side, side of the ridge. He's like, I'm going after him. We're all sitting there watching him, and I'm trying to zoom in on my phone and get a video of him as he's making almost like a stock sort of on this bird, and it was just kind of cool. And this year, we talked about doing it bigger, maybe even having like a food truck out there or something like that, and have everybody coming up. It's basically like an open field with some woods up above it, basically, but enough to get 15 or 20 trucks in there. He had a portalet in there and everything. I mean, it was a damn good time.
We've got plenty of room for you guys to come on down and hunt. So
that's
that
awesome.
time of year too, like turkey business is serious. It's some guys are super hardcore serious about it, but it's a lot more relaxing. The weather's not that bad. You know what I'm saying? Like, I mean, you can. It's nice. Yeah, that'd be awesome. And yeah, we'll definitely heck, we'll share it around to the group and stuff too. I don't know how many people you want there, but like,
I mean, yeah, we can house a few people. We'll get a food truck or whatever.
Just tell people to bring their own lodge and bring a tent or something.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, we'll have a good time. So it was fun. Just different stories, because Indiana is way different from Tennessee, then Tennessee is different from Georgia. So like everybody collectively coming together, and you hear how people kill birds, and it's just like that's wild. That's pretty neat.
Cool.
Well, I appreciate you guys coming on here with us tonight, talk some bow hunting league, share some information for people that don't know about it. If you don't know about it, everybody jump on the website, sign up, get you some buddies to do it with, and all that, man. But I really appreciate you guys coming on tonight.
Yep.
Absolutely.
Enjoyed it.
Thanks for having us.
No
Appreciate
problem.
it.
Drop some stuff. Drop some names out there or anything you want everybody to hear.
Bowhuntingleague.com. That's where you got to go.
August 31st.
Yep.
Get on it. Yeah.
Awesome. Well, everybody, if you're in podcast land, hit that like and subscribe for us, rate and review, all that good stuff. We'll be back here again next week for episode 91.
Thanks, guys.